All right, so we've got to put a canvas together. So I've got a frame and cut the canvas and then stretch it and all that good stuff. And then the next step will be to prime the canvas, and it'll be a mix of gesso and some other paint, some little kind of concoction that I put together. So we'll get that started right now. All right, so typically you want to have just enough overlap, which goes a little bit over here. You can see it goes just enough past this wood piece because it will stretch a little bit. And then what you'll do is when you're ready, and everything's complete, then you can actually trim this out a little bit. So anyway, leave that. So I'll get my trimmers, which are pretty sweet, and trim that. Leave about the same on each side, and then I'll start stapling, and I'll bring you back when I start doing that. All right, so got that laid out, and again you'll see some wrinkles in there and all that, and those will all get pulled out when you start. So this is the pretty sweet stapler. So all you do is you just go right in the middle. You do one there, and then you do about 3 on each side. You'll go to the opposite side, and you'll do 1 in the middle, and then 3 on each side. Pull it tight, and then you go to each side and do the same kind of thing. And then you basically just rotate. So when you get those 3 on all those, you go back here, do about 3 or 4 more, continue to pull, do the same over there, and that'll basically, stretch each corner out in a way that'll be really good. You won't have any wrinkles. It'll be really good. The other thing that this will do, especially for a frame like this, as I mentioned, this was originally a 2x4. I ripped it in half on the table saw so I can get pretty good size sturdy frame. But what this will also do is once everything is tight, it will actually strengthen the frame a bit. Once you then, and we'll get to this later, but when you start preparing the canvas, if you will, put gesso in that mixture I was talking about, it will then even further strengthen. So once it's all done, it's going to be real solid and real good looking canvas. So that's all you do. All right. So still going along, and continuing the journey here. Keep going down the line, and you'll continue to get all of the inconsistencies out of the canvas, and it'll get stretched. And just keep going down the way here. A couple more on each side. Keep circulating or rotating, I mean. And just keep doing it. So when you get to the end, here's the kind of final product here. So when you get to these corners, you leave a staple or so before the end. Open, same with the other side, and then you basically just fold it like wrapping paper. So you're going to want to pull it real tight, and then when you fold that over, then you basically do 3 or 4 or 5 staples there to make sure that it's tight, there's no wrinkles, and it's just going to last forever. The other thing I forgot to mention was just that spacing between these. On a canvas this size, there's pretty significant opportunity for any kind of waviness in the canvas because it's not stretched tight, or you've got too much space in between these. So I basically do about 2 inches for these, and then as I said here, because it's a kind of a critical point of canvas and obviously longevity, you want it to look good, you just got to pull this tight, and then like I said, when that's all said and done, then you can go back and you can trim it, to the edge of here if you'd like, whatever, totally up to you. It's always good to take your time. So here's the final product. Very, tightly stretched canvas, looks good. You remember when I was talking about that imperfection in the frame? You can actually see that right here, which is kind of sweet. I like it. So when you look straight on, you won't really see it. But as you know, I do a lot of textures and a lot of other things, so I actually will incorporate some of these imperfections actually into the painting and not try to, overcompensate for the imperfections. Again, I think it works well and adds character to the overall painting. So that's that. Took about 20-30 minutes just to do it right, but it's looking pretty good. And as I mentioned, after you prep this with whatever you use, as I mentioned, I'm going to use some gesso mixed with some paint and one or two other chemicals. It'll actually tighten up that frame even more, make it even more sturdy.